Good morning, children. Today I will be taking the next gland of endocrine system, that is thyroid gland. This gland is present in the neck region and is the largest endocrine gland of human body, weighing about 25 grams. This lies on the ventral, that is on the front side, and on the lateral means sideways of the windpipe, just below the voice box in the neck region, on the front side of neck region. It is brownish red, butterfly shaped bilobed gland. You can see in the diagram, this is the voice box larynx. This from on top, then on the below you will find cartilaginous ringed pipe-like structure called trachea. In the middle, this trachea is being covered by a bilobed gland called thyroid gland. It has two lobes, one on this side and one on this side, and both the lobes are connected in the center by the same tissues, and this part is called isthmus. Now you'll find it is brownish red butterfly shaped bilobed gland, one lobe present on either side of the trachea. The two lobes are interconnected by a transverse glandular band called isthmus. Now, what are the hormones of thyroid gland and their functions? Thyroid gland secretes two hormones, thyroxine and calcitonin. Calcitonin is not in your course. It is not in the syllabus. We will only do this part, that is thyroxine. Now, thyroxine is the iodine containing hormone. The important component of thyroxine is iodine. And this thyroxine exerts a great effect on controlling the basic metabolic rate of our body. BMR, basic metabolic rate, means the rate of the energy that is being spent per unit time that a person needs to keep his body, basic functions of the body to work properly. That amount of energy for the basic functions to be carried on when the body is at rest, so that the person may remain alive, that amount of energy is called as basic metabolic rate, and that is being regulated by this hormone thyroxine. This basic metabolic rate will regulate it. How? By regulating the rate of cellular oxidation, that is rate of respiration is being controlled by this hormone. This rate of respiration, we all know respiration is an oxidative process in which the oxygen will oxidize the food, that is glucose, to release energy from the food and carbon dioxide. So this respiratory activity called cellular oxidation is being controlled or is regulated by thyroxine. And because of this respiratory activity, this will result in heat production. Due to respiration, heat is produced. The energy in the form of heat is also given out when the body is at rest. It controls cell respiration and energy production and helps in maintaining the body temperature. Thus controls the cellular metabolic activity, that means respiratory activity. And the product of respiration is energy. The energy, heat energy in the form of heat energy in the form of ATP, it is stored. And then you'll find the heat energy in the form the temperature. Thus it regulates the body temperature, because the energy is also released in the form of heat energy also. Some part of energy is released as heat energy. Now we are going to study that. See, turn the page and then you will find it also helps. It also controls the physical, mental and sexual growth of the body. Because the respiration will provide energy to the body, that energy will be used for carrying the metabolic functions of the body. Growth will take place mentally, physically, and it is also called calorigenic effect. Thyroxine also controls body weight. Its increased production than the required amount. If thyroxine hormone is produced more than the required amount, this will lead to weight loss. Why? That is, if thyroxine will increase more, respiratory activity will be affected more. Cellular oxidation will be more. The food will be oxidized very rapidly. And the energy will be released, food will be oxidized, and large amount of energy will be released from the body. Thus will reduce in help, that is in the weight loss. Is it clear? And decrease amount of, if the thyroxine hormone is secreted less, this will result to obesity, that is abnormal increase in weight. Why? Because if the thyroxine is reduced less than required by the body, then cellular oxidation, respiratory activity will be slow. Food will not be properly and completely oxidized. As a result, the person will not feel like eating more, but you will find he will keep on increasing weight because the food is not totally burned, is not totally being oxidized, complete oxidation has not taken place, the energy is not being released from the food is not broken down. As a result, there will be accumulation of fat, the food in the form of fat, carbohydrate in our body, and leads to obesity. Thyroxine also regulates general growth and development of body, and ossification of bones means strengthening of the bones, changing the cartilage of bones into, changing the cartilage, which is a soft bony tissue, into hard bones. This is called ossification. Now, effects of hyposecretion of thyroxine. What are the results of hypo? Means I told you under secretion, less secretion of thyroxine. The first condition arises in children, that is cretinism. So in small children at very early stages, the thyroid gland is not developed properly according with the age, or there is some defective development and the thyroid gland degenerates early. This will lead to this will retard the physical and mental, this will slow down the physical and mental growth of the child. With the age, the child will not develop physically and mentally, and this condition is called as cretinism, and this arises in small children when there is less secretion of thyroxine in such type of children. So hyposecretion of thyroxine in children due to early atrophy, degeneration, or due to defective development of thyroid gland. So because of thyroid gland, either the thyroid gland will degenerate at early stage or there is defective development. So it is not functioning properly. So it is not giving the hormone properly. So this will lead to a disorder called cretinism, and this is characterized by a condition called dwarfism. Dwarfism means the physical growth is stunted, is checked, is slow, reduced growth, and retardation mental development. Next we'll come to the next is myxodemia. Myxodemia is when the hyposecretion of thyroxine takes place in adults. Then this condition arises when the thyroxine will be produced less in adults. The person cellular oxidation will slow down, respiratory activity will slow down, the person becomes very inactive. As a result, we will find that the person, due to low cellular oxidation, the food is not being oxidized completely. He will take less food, intake of food is less because he don't feel like eating food, for the food is not being oxidized completely due to less of thyroxine. Intake of food will reduce, but he will gain in weight because of accumulation of the food product in the body. And the symptoms will be, the condition will be the face tissue, hands, they all swell up and look puffy due to oedema. Oedema is thickening of skin due to accumulation of fluid in the subcutaneous tissue, means the layer below the epidermal layer, the layer of the skin. Now it is more frequent in females and it is also called as Gull's disease. So the Myxodema is found in the adults when the secretion of thyroxine is less. When secretion of thyroxine then required by the adult is less secreted, then there will be low metabolic rate, cellular oxidation, respiratory activity will slow down. Person becomes inactive due to low cellular oxidation. Less food intake will take, but weight will increase and swelling on the face we will find. The third condition is simple goiter or iodine deficiency goiter. There's a swelling in the neck. This is due to this condition. This condition arises in the people, in adults, when the food intake that they are taking is deficient of iodine, because iodine is an important ingredient in the production of thyroxine. So you can just think that it acts like a catalyst. So iodine deficiency in food leads to hypertrophy, that enlargement of thyroid gland so as to absorb more iodine. So this results in swelling in the neck. But the hormone production is reduced. Thyroxine is reduced. Iodine deficiency can be easily corrected by the addition of iodine in diet. Usually we take in iodized salt. That the common salt that we take is iodized salt, so that fulfill the requirement of iodine in our body, and iodine plays an important role in the production of thyroxine. This condition of simple goiter is very common in people living in hilly regions. It is because in the hills, the water in the hills, they have less of iodine. The food produced there, the crops produced there are deficient of iodine. So people feeding on such type of food, their body does not, this iodine body is not getting proper iodine. As a result, this will affect the production of thyroxine from thyroid gland, and they will be seen the swelling in the neck, because the thyroid gland will try to enlarge its size to produce more of thyroxine, what the body is requiring, but iodine is not there to support it. So the swelling of thyroid, the enlargement of thyroid gland will result in simple goiter. These were the 3 cases of undersecretion of thyroxine. Now we will study the effect of hyper. Hyper means over or more secretion of thyroxine than required by the body. This results in a condition or disorder called exothermic goiter. Exothermic means protruding, eyes protruding out. Thalmic is eyes, and swelling in the neck. It is characterized by increased rate of heartbeat. When thyroxine will be over-secreted, then the metabolic rate will be fast, cellular oxidation process will be fast. That means respiratory activity is fast. Food is, as we eat the food, it is oxidized. As we take in food, it is oxidized. So the person becomes voracious eater, will eat large quantity of food since morning till night, but will not gain in weight, because as he eats immediately the over-secreted thyroxine will oxidize it, because the respiratory activity will be fast. And so heartbeat, it will increase rate of heartbeat, increase the metabolic activity, will increase appetite, that is food intake will be increased. Loss of weight, I told you he will be eating more, but due to very fast oxidation of food, the person will not gain weight. There is no food left to be added for building up the body. Increased nervous irritability, the nervous system becomes overactive. Shortness of breath, that is means the person every now and then feels like breathing fast, जिसे हाँफते कहते हैं. Restlessness is there, and protrusion of eyeballs. This exothalmic itself means protruded eyeballs. So these are the symptoms of the effect of hypersecretion of this. See this exothermic oil. This is protruding eyeballs. This is the due to over-secretion of thyroxine. Till here is thyroid gland. I have completed today. You go through my video, come out with the problems, and we'll discuss the problem. Thank you.